Ready.
I'm always ready. That's right, you geeks. Welcome into the Echo Screen, the official podcast of the Clan of the Grey Wolf. Get rid of that headset.
Whoops.
You don't need that.
I'm being professional.
Don't be professional. That's completely antithetical to this entire podcast. And anyway, as always, I am your host, the Commodore. What are you ringing today?
Ding, ding.
Perfect. Okay,
I'm ringing my multicolored armlet of doom.
And with me is the ever-ready, always affable, Rue. How you doing, Rue?
I'm good with my Coca-Cola Cherry Zero.
They're not sponsors of the show. Turn that can around.
Oh, damn it. They should be.
I know. We gotta contact our people. They should be sponsors of the show, if you ask me. Anyway, hello everybody. Great to see you again.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Hi, Dr. Nick. That's not me. I am in fact not Dr. Nick. So we're gonna do what we always do here in the Echo Screen
Try
Live,
to take over the world.
which is try to take over the world. And after we take over the world, we're gonna play a lot of Minecraft. No, we're not going to do any of those things. But what we are going to do is we're going to split things into sections, right? We talk about the news.
Slow jam.
Or something like that resembles the news.
That's what you're supposed to do nowadays, I hear. That's
the news-ish.
That's the kids tell
the
me.
The newsy things. Then we're going to get into our actual topic, which is what? You didn't get briefed on the topic, did you?
No.
Did someone tell you what the topic was?
Video games.
Yes, video games.
Yes!
We're actually talking tonight about video games. But specifically, we're talking about the story of video games, as in narrative in video games.
Video game narratives.
Video game narratives.
Has the story changed? Which is just a really...
I thought that was pretty clever
Eh.
when I wrote it. I don't think it's very good now.
You were
but when I
tired
wrote
last
it,
night, weren't you?
when I wrote it, I thought it was good. Now I don't. Now I'm not so sure. Anyway, so we'll do that, and then we will move into the third section of our show, which happens to be many people's favorites.
My
favorite's the news, but I don't know what the rest of people's. Most people's favorites are the question and answer session, which is
otherwise known as Q&A.
Otherwise known as Q&A, which is you can ask us anything you want to ask us. Could be about video games, could be about the topic we talk about tonight, could be about anything in general.
You ever go on Reddit?
I can't. Yes.
Ask me anything.
It's not question and answer time yet.
No.
You've jumped way ahead in the show, and you've busted up the news section with the question and answer session.
Oh, Toonami. People are talking about Toonami.
Well, whatever.
Anyway, let's throw out whatever we're going to talk about on the news, and we'll talk about Toonami. Toonami's back.
Toonami was amazing.
What else
remember Toonami?
I didn't like Toonami.
You didn't like Toonami?
Yeah.
I love Toonami. Was what got me watching Cartoon Central or Cartoon Network, whatever it was.
Central.
I mixed two things.
I like the Cartoon Central and then the Comedy Station.
Comedy Station Network.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
In between my prunes.
Yes. Well, so what did you not like about Toonami?
I don't know. What were the shows on it again?
Dude, I used to love... So, Toonami was awesome when they had Voltron, Thundercats, Silverhawks. What else did it have? I don't even remember. Oh,
I didn't watch any of those.
Oh, what the hell is wrong with you?
I was busy having a life.
No,
That's not true.
Dude, it was... I know. What the hell are you talking about? You owned a GameCube. No one that owned a GameCube had a life.
Hey, you weren't arguing we were playing some Smash Brothers Melee.
Correct.
That's
Which, if you watch the Weekly Ringer from this week,
we ever watched,
you know is probably the most difficult of the three, and could be the most fun if you're competitive, which we are.
Hey, we're losing time.
You're the one that went to Q&A before the news section, so don't talk to me.
All right.
In any case, yes, we will indeed today talk about video game narratives and the story and how that's changed over time and all kinds of other fun stuff.
In 15 minutes.
In 15 minutes. But now we're going to talk about news. So let's talk about I guess the biggest element today. Today is the 16th. That would make yesterday
the 17th.
The 15th. You need to go watch Back to the Future.
Oh.
And the 15th.
Oh, yeah.
Two very big games coming out this year came out yesterday at the same time.
Pokemon
and Pokemon.
Kirby's Air Ride. Part 3.
Neither of those things happened.
Damn it.
I wish I had one of those little buttons.
Avagamethymals.
I need to get one on my phone.
Avagamethymals.
What? You weren't even speaking English at this point.
It's not my fault.
Oh, Avaganthylmos. Right. Diablo 3 happened. That's good.
Yeah,
that's
it's like the news of the year because everyone's freaking out. And I'm like, I don't care.
Diablo 3 happened. And Zombie Gadget nailed it. Max Payne 3 happened. No, not Game of Thrones. I've heard that's just absolutely awful.
What?
The game? Game of Thrones,
Oh,
the RPG.
The Game of Thrones
Not,
game?
No. Not Game of Thrones game strategy. Game of Thrones game RPG made by the same company.
Your burps stink. Just so you know.
Hey, thank our sponsor. Wait, they're not sponsors yet?
So, the point about... Okay, I don't know how you can miss this if you're all into video games, but Diablo 3 launched yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday? 2
Yesterday.
days ago.
No, yesterday.
Okay,
15th.
you're right. Yeah, yesterday, and had a giant cluster something, bad word, because of the DRM, I guess you'd call it DRM, involved with the game. You have to be connected to a Blizzard server to play the single-player game.
Battle.net.
Yes.
Yes.
And they weren't ready for that,
They
apparently.
were not.
Because, and for almost a full day, anyone who bought Diablo 3 and was ready to go, it was a cluster pluck.
Yep.
Yes.
Cluster pluck.
Got
That's the scientific term.
error 37, meaning there was problems.
Too much
connecting,
traffic.
Full capacity, blah, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. And so that became a trending Twitter topic and a big giant joke. And Blizzard really doesn't care, Blizzard Activision, because they're still rolling in the money
Correct.
in their giant money bin up in Duckburg.
Right. They're giant money castle.
So what
if you
what is the moral of the story?
the moral of the story is...
You're going to get screwed regardless? Or
No.
just whine about it?
Well, I mean, that could be. I would say more along the lines, though, that it's more a... look, it's a tough job, guys, right? I mean, look at what's happening to... There's another piece of news. What's happening to 38 studios right now.
Well, hey, you're skipping around.
No. I'm using this as an
better
example.
Connect this well.
38 studios has to... First of all, they're designing 2 games at the same time, which is, I think, their biggest problem. But anyway, the issue is, just like with every game, 38 studios, Blizzard, everyone out there has to be able to forecast what they think their capacity will be based on user counts, right? Mm-hmm. Based on how many, boxes they ship, and then how many of those boxes they think they'll sell week 1. Now, why would they care about this? Because you don't want to just buy all the infrastructure immediately to support maximum capacity, because that is a tremendous waste of money. And especially if you're Blizzard Activision, where, you want to maximize your investment here. You want to make sure you follow the trajectory of the game. Now, the issue I have with it is that, me included, I was a part of the beta, the beta test for Diablo 3.
Really?
So I played for the beta weekend.
How come I didn't know about
And
this?
the whole point of the free beta weekend was so they could test the viability of their servers.
Yeah, but those beta tests are always...
But the reason that
There's
they made it
always
free...
issues, and they never seem to...
But the reason that they made it free, and the reason that they passed it out to everybody in the universe, was because they wanted to test the maximum capacity of their servers. What were they doing? Yeah, I mean, what were they doing?
Laughing in their money.
And by the way, I don't know if any of you were part of the public beta, but they shut down here in the East Coast for about a day. So during the public beta, most of the time, I could actually play. I actually had time to sit down and play during a Saturday. No Diablo for you. Couldn't get in.
That would make me sad if I cared about Diablo.
But ask me if I'm buying Diablo 3.
Are you buying Diablo 3?
Hell yes, I'm buying Diablo 3.
That's my point. What is it? Okay, yeah, people complain about DRM, blah, 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 and they make fun jokes about it
This
on
is not a
Twitter.
DRM issue. This is an issue about connectivity, right?
That really depends on who you ask.
It's an issue about connectivity,
I think
right?
hey, people in the chat, is it a DRM issue or is it a connectivity issue?
Well, I mean, let's...
Sound off!
But let's differentiate as to what it actually is, right? So Blizzard and Activision want you to be connected so that they can detect whether you're using a legitimate copy of the game. But one of the things that they're trying to do is basically tie the experience into something that is continuous, regardless of what you have loaded on your PC, right? So gone are the days where you have, the game on your PC, you have save games, and you put those on a USB stick and you try to bring them wherever you go, no matter how and when you reinstall the game. So now, no matter how far in the future you might want to go play Diablo 3, you will always be able to continue with that characters that you had, with the experience that you had, regardless of whether you buy a new computer, whether Diablo 3 moves to a different console, whatever the case might be.
So you think it's a good thing?
I think it's a great thing.
Oh, that's a bit of the alternate.
I think it's a great thing, and I think it's a great thing. But let's say this:
but it is a pain in the butt. What if you can't connect to the server? What if your internet?
If you bought the game and they couldn't handle the capacity, then Blizzard screwed up, and that sucks, right? But if we're talking, that's different than saying the concept of having people always connected sucks, right? Heroes 6. No. Heroes 6 of
There's
Might and
6
Magic.
of them?
6.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Heroes, yeah, it's actually Might and Magic Heroes 6 is what the game is called.
Okay.
It requires the same exact thing, and I have that game, and it's I actually like the fact, because when you go up there, you create, you gain experience when you unlock certain achievements, and it's all the Xbox Live model, right? I mean, Microsoft's got it figured out.
Sonic Rose has a good point about even Steam lets her offline most of her games. Play offline.
That's true, but and I think it's fair to say that it's possible, but it's not a long-term solution. So you can play Steam games offline, but it's not the same experience as when you play online. Right?
I will say, I doubt this is going to be much of an issue going forward.
Not at all, because everyone's going to go to this, and I would contend again, it's not because of DRM. It's because this is the 21st century, guys.
I think it's maybe killing two birds with one stone.
Fair enough.
At the very least.
Fair enough.
Because they don't like the pirates.
They don't like the pirates, but think about your consoles, right? When your consoles, the consoles started the model for which PC gaming is having to emulate. Why? Because consoles are successful and PC gaming is not, by and large, right? So if I look at a console, what does it mean? It means I'm always connected. Now I can have my own little experience offline, but I can't even get things like patches or fixes in the game unless I'm connected to Xbox Live or PSN.
Well, yeah, but you can't not play the game if you don't get those patches.
That's true.
Do you think this is something that we're going to see in the next generation of consoles?
I think it's absolutely going to be there, and I think the reason why is because the experience is going to be fun. People don't want, so with the way people make games now, they make them, and for better or for worse, I'm not saying this is a good thing, guys, that people make games that aren't 100% complete yet. They haven't worked all the bugs out. They haven't done all the play testing yet. So people are releasing stuff that isn't quite done and needs to be patched and needs to be fixed. And in order to be connected, they want to ensure that you have the best product. Otherwise, you could be pissed off. You buy this game, you spend all this money, and it doesn't work the right way,
Well, I think JSC 315 has a very interesting point, and this is why I don't fully trust cloud storage, at least as an only option. Mm-hmm. If your internet goes down or their server goes down, there's a lot of things that could happen. It's kind of magical that we have electrons shooting at the speed of light around the globe that magically transfer our voice and our audio and video to people across the world. If anything goes wrong along that thing, you're kind of screwed.
So, yes, but
that's why I'm not super. I don't like cloud storage as an only option for storage, and I don't like this idea for you have to be online to play your game.
But I mean, all right, so fair enough. But you could say the same
25
thing.
years from now, and the servers are gone. Then what?
I would say it's a much more viable option than it is to put it on a floppy disk or put it on a CD.
Then
or
again,
put it on a USB thumb drive.
Apparently there's talk of pirates making emulated servers so you can play it regardless.
Well, that was the whole point, right? So the whole point of
mercy of fan servers.
Think about the very first days of internet piracy with things like games, right? One of the things that people argued about backing up, or even like emulators, like Super Nintendo, things like that, right? Was that people said, look, this is not illegal. We're making huge archives of these games so that people can enjoy these games, right?
Yeah.
There's a point there because it's not illegal to archive any of this stuff, right? So at a certain point...
it's at least murky.
The point
hasn't been really pushed on ROMs.
It hasn't been pushed.
Old Nintendo
My point is no one's getting sued over the idea of making an archive, which is why back in the day... everyone was calling them, here's a game for your archive.
Just back it up on your zip drive.
Yeah, here's your archive. It's just for your archives, right? This is not for you to play Mario Brothers. This is for you to put in your archives. Anyway, not the point. The point is, as internet connectivity, and I'm not even going to call it internet connectivity, I'm just going to call it net connectivity,
net
becomes as ubiquitous as telephone service, power service, water service, whatever, utilities, in other words, this becomes much less of an issue. Okay. If your water turns off, you can survive for a couple days, and then your water comes back on. It's never